Hello viewers, Intercept reporter Ryan Grimm informed MSNBC on Sunday that the one element he uncovered talking to the Qataris about Jahred Kushner used to be that if they knew Kushner would warranty that they have been punished by means of a years-long blockade, that they would have offered Kushner's property a lot sooner. Kushner companies negotiated a bailout deal for 666 Fifth Avenue with the Qatari Sovereign Wealth Fund. Before we proceed, it will be a pleasure for you to click on the subscribe button and hit the notification bell for latest updates from us. The second got here months after the Qatari authorities' officers had been staying in the Trump Inn in Washington on the identical date as Jahred Kushner and Ivanka Trump, who had a domestic in Washington at the time. The House introduced it would strategy an investigation into Kushner and the Qatari buy as nicely as Kushner's billion-dollar investments. He has been in a position to scoop up from international locations he used to be conducting overseas coverage with for the duration of his father-in-law's administration. It comes amid the House Republicans pledging that they will come after President Joe Biden's son, who does no longer work in the White House and does no longer habits overseas coverage on behalf of the Biden administration. Speaking to MSNBC's Mehdi Hasan, the biographer of Kushner Incorporated, defined that the two cannot be in contrast as remotely comparable due to the fact Kushner is profiting off of his work he did at taxpayer fee and the relationships he constructed at taxpayer expense. It's very, very serious that, as you said, it does not have the intercourse attraction of Hunter Biden and the lacking laptop, nude photos, stated Vicky Ward. It does now not have that, as you very nicely demonstrated, it is an intricate story. But that does now not suggest it isn't always a very, very serious investigation. If there have been such a battle of interest, if he did habits overseas coverage in the Middle East, especially switching aspects on that blockade of Qatar via the Saudis, essentially to bail out his household business, that is a crook offense. You know, the optics of all of this have been continually there. My book, Kushner Incorporated, does, as you say, exhibit Kushner's economic troubles as this ticking time bomb. She went on to say that she wrote the chapters in parallel and mentioned that the bomb used to be the mortgage coming due and what Kushner would do now that he was once working for the new president, could not get a safety clearance and desperately wanted to sell off the property. All the while, then Secretary of State Rex Tillerson used to be livid that Kushner was once conducting overseas coverage at the back of his back. He's now not simply conducting overseas coverage due to the fact he disagrees with Tillerson, Hasan said. He's doing it allegedly for monetary gain. He went on to point out the $2 billion that Kushner scored from the Saudis in opposition to the monetary recommendation of all of the Saudi funding fund. The Saudi crown prince himself signed off on handing Kushner the money. Grimm stated preceding reviews of these searching at Kushner's prospectus of the wealth fund that was once dispatched to Mohammed bin Salman and known as it laughable. All it used to be was once a chart of their connections Kushner had made in the course of his White House days, described Grimm. There used to be no experience of how it used to be going surely to make any returns. MBS overruled anyone else and simply gave them 2 billion greenbacks for this fund that he began proper after he left. Hasan stated that he is no fan of Hunter Biden and stated that he thinks the president's son has profited off of his name, however that he hasn't carried out something illegal, while Kushner has. When you put Hunter Biden in Burisma Ukraine, subsequent to Jahred Kushner and Saudi Arabia and China and Japan, how do they stack up facet with the aid of side, political scandal-wise? Hasan asked. There is no comparison, stated Ward. Jahred Kushner was once the senior legend in the White House. Hunter Biden is no longer in the White House. Jahred Kushner was, as you say, going for walks everything, however mainly overseas policy. And it really is what makes this sincerely simply on an extraordinary scale. And to Ryan's point, one of the matters that is so fascinating about this wrapped-up investigation from Congress, the smoking gun is honestly the timing of the emails. Jahred Kushner used to be talking, it emerges, in emails that Congress now has, in April 2016 with Brookfield, this association that has the Qataris so majorly in it. What is your honest opinion about this video? Please drop your comments.